Channel, welcome to our live video series. Today we are in the Brantford Kia studio looking at the Hyundai Sonata Sport. I really like this car, and one of the reasons I really want to do this video today is because tomorrow we are going to look at the Kia K5, the GT line. So similar but different vehicles, and you can see them back to back today and tomorrow. But wow, have we had an interesting day today. So here's the way this works. If you just want to watch the content, you tuned in to see this vehicle, you can skip ahead to and you're not live with us, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark if you want. That'll be where we dive into this content. In the meantime, quite an interesting day here with some news and some notes and some speculation that I'll make. And we're also going to be able to, I'll show you how to join us live. We'll talk about news and notes. So that's what we're doing now. So if you're with us, a few less people than normal, but we'll try to fix that up. All right, here we go. If you want to join us live, you go on to the Kia Hyundai channel like we are right now. And if you go there exactly 2 o'clock on a weekday afternoon, in the 2 o'clock Eastern time, refresh the page, you're going to see that this video down there is going to change into our live video. So you're going to come down here, you're going to click into that. While you do that, you're going to have to see a quick little ad there. While you're watching the ad, or I'm skipping the ad, just give me 1 second here. I'm going to skip that ad, but while we're getting rid of that ad, I'm going to run a really quick ad for ourselves. If you are in Ontario and you want to support this channel, you can do that by supporting the 3 dealers that support us: Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, and Owen Sound Hyundai. Those are 3 dealers that make this channel possible, and they go over and above. One example is the valet service that all 3 dealerships offer. If you are a local customer and you want to service your car, they will come to your house, pick up your car, service it for you, and take it back to your house or your workplace in town. So really cool service that we all offer. It's just another example of all 3 dealers going over and above. All right, so here's the thing with the interesting day. We're going to have less people on today because the algorithm for YouTube sorts things out, and we already did a live video today, so it's going to shoot this to less people than normal, which is fine. But here's what's going on. The Kia EV6 just released all of their, or the basic specs of their upcoming electric vehicle. And at the same time, the Ioniq 5 released pricing for their basic vehicle. So we know the Ioniq 5 is now going to hit that government rebate of an EV starting under $5,000 or $45,000 up to the $55,000. So 4 of the 5 trims are going to hit that government rebate of between the $45,000 to $55,000 mark. That's a big deal. And now we can speculate. It was rumored that Kia wasn't going to hit those price points, but the models they introduced are rear-wheel drive models and very similarly spec'd to the Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5 is priced. The EV6 is built on the same platform but is not priced. But can we expect the EV6 to also hit those price points or very similar price points? My guess is I think we can. That's huge news because that means EVs have become a lot better and a lot less expensive. All right, we're already at the 3-minute mark, so we'll talk about that a little bit later in this video. Right now, we're going to take a look at this car right here, and I got to fulfill that commitment and jump right in. If you're a regular with us, feel free to hit that like button. Like I said, we're having less people just because we did another live video, bonus live video this morning, so this isn't going to be fed to the people that are usually fed this thing, and that's okay. What that means is those of you who are on, if you have questions, we can answer them, and if you don't have questions, feel free, if you're not live with us, you can ask those questions afterwards, and I'll get to them as well. All right, here, oops, let me flip the camera around. Here's the key for this car. Nice thing about this car is it's actually a demo over at Brantford Hyundai, so I don't have any key tags or anything else. Oh, I still have the sticker on there, I guess. But yeah, you have the lock, unlock, pop the trunk, and the panic button, and the remote start. It's really nice to have remote start on a lot of these cars now, so we're seeing that coming more and more. This is the Sport model. And you would think the Sport model would be sort of a higher end, higher trim line in the package. It's actually not. It's one up from the base level car, and you kind of get a lot. Like, I really like the way this thing works. So here we go. Let's scroll down here. I'll show you exactly where we sit in the lineup. Preferred model is the standard one. There's also the Sport, the Luxury. There's also the N line. There's the Hybrid. There's a lot going on in the Sonata line. So the N line is what a lot of people view as the Sport model. It's got the 2.5-liter turbo, 290 horsepower. That's got a lot of horsepower. This one is the 1.6-liter engine. Now, you have to forgive me. I haven't memorized the specs. I'm pretty sure it's right in the 180 horsepower mark, 195 foot-pounds of torque. And when I say pretty sure, it might be 181. It is within a couple horsepower of that. So the 180, 185 horsepower and 195 foot-pounds of torque on this car. And what that does is it makes this car kind of average powered, but good power. And the 1.6 turbo is important because the turbo engine in this car has all of that torque, that 195 foot-pounds or so of torque, right down low in the rev range, which means you're not revving the snot out of it to get that power. So that is a big thing. Somebody says, too bad it does not come with all-wheel drive. Correct. This is a front-wheel drive only car. Tomorrow we're looking at the Kia K5, which only comes in all-wheel drive around this trim level. So we'll compare that car to this tomorrow. So kind of a good back-to-back series that we're doing here. All right, let's take a look inside this car. Well, let's just take a quick look outside. We'll take a look at lighting later. We talked about the Kia EV6 going to have signal lights that are chrome, but they'll light up as signal lights when they're lit, and that's what this is right here. This looks like a chrome panel that goes all the way up. You'll see a nice little break right there. That break means that's all chrome, but when we look at it later, this will be all lit, and we'll look at the lighting later on this vehicle. Again, chose the one in red paint. I really like the red paint on this car. It does sport up this car. Let's be really fair about the Sonata. It's got it's got kind of unique styling, but when it goes into a gray color with the standard wheels, it can kind of blend into the background, which I think a lot of people kind of like. When you see it in this red color, you really see the lines kind of accentuated, sharp creases throughout the whole car, sharp spoiler back here, which is just kind of, you know, nice little lip spoiler. You really notice the fins on those black tops up to the taillights there. And down low, you have this massive exhaust system down there, or exhaust down there that looks pretty cool. So we'll take a look with the lights on later in this video, but let's take a look at the driver's seat now as we jump in. Again, nice black trim down here as well, very sport look, and 19-inch wheels, which is pretty good here. So again, we'll take a look at all that in just a second. Let's start inside the vehicle, where it has a very much N-line look to it. The N-line is, so the way things work with Hyundai is it's interesting. So usually the N-line is maybe slightly sportier, but nothing too fancy. It's kind of the sportier version. And then they have the full-out N model, which is more performance. You could make the case that the N line of the Sonata could be an N version. It's not quite that aggressive, but it's much more aggressive. That 311 foot-pounds of torque is a lot in this car. This one still has that full sporty kind of feel to it. You still have a powered seat here. And again, this is a car that's in use by someone right now, so excuse the not perfect conditions. But yeah, you have the powered seat here with the lumbar. You do have these, I'm sure they're fake leather, but they look like leather here, and they look like suede down here. And it is a red stitching with a red piping there, so it gives you that sport look. What I like about these seats is they hold you in place. They're not that cold because not the whole thing is leather. So cold winter, not that cold, but you do have, of course, the heated seats as well that help you out. You've got the panoramic roof up top, which we're going to show you in a little bit as we get in, but let's jump in here. Even the pedals have that look. Yeah, the pedals are actually still wrapped in the plastic, but they are metallic, sort of a metal kind of look when we get in there. So yeah, right now they're still in that initial plastic. So shut the door there, and we're going to turn the car to the on position, but not start it. That's what we do because we are filming inside. Left side tach, right side speedometer, center display gauge. It looks very familiar here. You can see that tire pressure monitors are standard. You've got a lot of drive information. So keep in mind this average 10.9 liters per 100 kilometers. I ran this through a car wash earlier, so it was idling quite a bit on that trip. So ignore some of the fuel mileage that we're seeing. We'll see if we can see anything that's a little more accurate in here. Yeah, 7.1 is probably accurate for the, there you go, 4,500 kilometers. So there you go. There's real world mileage. 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers for 43,000 or 4,359 kilometers on this car. This is kind of, I would say, fair for this car. So you're getting what used to be very much economy car mileage in this larger car, and it really is a larger car. We're going to show you the space in this car in a second. So there's, for the first time I can show you a dealership car with real world mileage. And of course you have the driver attention level warning. You have the lane keep, lane follow assist. So lane keeping assist is right down there to the left of the steering wheel. Lane follow assist come across the steering wheel here to the right side. And that's that button right there. Oh, maybe I'm zoomed in a little too far. All right, you've also got the smart cruise control. So as far as a driver's car, you've got the paddle shifters right here. Smart lane follow assist, smart cruise control, good steering wheel here with the sort of the nice grip and kind of the nice look. It is a heated steering wheel. It very much feels like a sportier car. And then you have the 8-inch screen here. Now, a lot of people like the 10.25-inch screen. There are some benefits to the 8-inch screen. The key benefit is right over here. You do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay that is wireless on the 8-inch screens. And yes, I'm trying to find out why the larger screens don't have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay, but they don't. So these ones are, of course, wired here. London in the house. Someone's from London, and it looks like London, England by all the flags that they're posting. So that's pretty cool. London, Ontario is just up the road from us, so there we go. You can see CNN is on here. I don't listen to this normally. I usually have some music on, but that does show you that there is Sirius XM satellite radio in here. Nice color display. If we throw it in reverse, you can see, no, we can't throw it in reverse, not when it's not on. So why don't we find the camera? Oh, there's no camera button on this one. So again, this car, because of the push button gear shift, I can't show you the reverse camera. The backup camera is very clear on this car. And that's the other reason for these paddle shifters. With the push button gear shift, again, not everybody likes these, but I want to make my case for them because I thought I wouldn't like them, but I very quickly got used to them, and I'm starting to actually come around to them. Push button gear shift gives you that nice clear open space, and that gives you a lot of space down here. Again, this is someone's car. I didn't detail it or anything else, so there are a couple crumbs in there, dirt and whatever. But you have nice large space for a phone down here, 2 USB ports and a 12-volt port right down there. And nice thing is you also have your heated seats. Now, weird thing with the Sonata, I don't know why, but it's the only car in the lineup that I can find that when I hit the seat heater button, it only turns on one level. And then I got to go again and again. So again, normally we always start with the 3, and then it comes down to the 3 levels of heat, and then it comes down to the just 1 level of heat. So let's just try to turn them all off for a second. I wonder what would happen if we held it on. Maybe if we hold it on, it goes... Nope, just does the 1. So there you go. So you have to turn them on like that. Kind of the opposite of every other Kia Hyundai vehicle that I've seen. And then the heated steering wheel is up there as well. So all push button stuff, that's what people like to see a lot of time. And it's there. We're going to turn to the auto button here. So dual zone climate control, again, another nice function. Left side and right side can choose their own temperatures. Right now they're synced together. It's going to go to 22.5. You can see it gets a little bit noisy in here sometimes, right? So what we can do is just take a little bit longer to reach that temperature. You can see that fan speed dropped over there and set it down. So it'll still reach 22.5. It'll move the air around from the feet to the face and wherever else you have to go. But you can set those 3 little bars there and set that down there. We're hoping to get the new Kia Sportage to test drive. Well, that's cool. All right, so let's keep going through here. One thing I really like about this car is the overall feeling. This Blue Link system is up top as well. Blue Link, you have that cell phone app, so which, by the way, for Kia fans was Uvo Intelligence until very recently. My app this morning, when I looked at it, said Kia Connect, not Uvo Intelligence. So it's in the Kia world, it's changed. Blue Link is just an app that most people use it simply to remote start the car. I really like knowing that my wife has left the car unlocked, and she did that again yesterday, so kudos to her. But I can see when the car is left unlocked, and I can lock it right from my phone. And if it was on her phone, we could do that too. It would remind her instead of me having to send a text message. We won't get into those issues. So, but yeah, you have some nice equipment here. And again, the panoramic roof is a real wow factor. The other thing that a lot of people like is it's not showing so much on camera. This is sort of a dark gray interior, and it's the dark gray interior that continues all up to the top here. So it's not quite a black interior, but it is a dark gray. A lot of people really like that darker kind of feel to these cars. And of course, if you have the cover shut here, you have the full darker interior, and you don't have the glass roof above you. So some people would want to close this maybe to keep some of the light out. I'm not one of those people. It does have some sound insulation up here as well though. So of course when you have the window there, it sort of reflects the sound. I don't find it's a problem at all. And you can open just the panel if you want, or you can open the roof if you want. So kind of nice to have that. All right, we're only about 13 minutes in. There's more I'm going to show you on this car, but why don't we just head to see if there's any questions right now. I know we're down on people over normal for a number of reasons, one of which is I already did a live video today, so the algorithm's not going to push out another live video as quickly. But if you have questions, let's go take up. Are the push-button gear shifters water resistant? I don't know. I've never tried to spill water on them, mostly because I work in a dealership. We try not to damage the cars. I've seen people spill stuff without issues. Now, are they actually designed to be water resistant? I don't know. They are set back from here. Yeah, that's an interesting question. That's something I'm going to have to dig into. Speaking of places to put a phone, there's your cup holders. You can put a phone through there, and you can also put an extra cup holder there, or an extra cup there, so you have lots of places to put phones. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if they're waterproof. In general, let's all agree that we don't want to spill coffee on stuff. I don't think it would be an issue, but that's a good point because they're drive buttons. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. We're going to talk some safety stuff. We're going to take rear seat space. And again, if you're joining us, and let's see, we got only 36 people on today, so let's see if we can go for 45 likes today. So we're at about 22. We can get there. Let's jump out. We'll take your questions if you have any, and then we'll come back here. Somebody said I've accidentally spilled tea on the Kia buttons, and they still work. So there you go. I have seen people spill things on them, and things still work. So that's a good question. So Blue Link works with the Hyundai. Yes, Blue Link. Yeah, Blue Link is Hyundai's system. It was most people are gonna, in the Kia world, are gonna know it as Uvo Intelligence. It's now Kia Connect, and we'll talk about some of those in a future video. All right, let's just see if there's any questions here that I'm missing. If there's not, we'll continue to go through here. And we are going for 45 likes today, so we're not there. Just over halfway there. So let's see if we can get that. All right. London in the house. How's Her Majesty doing? You know, see, commenters are awesome. This is great. Got a little community here. What happens when you push down on the seat heater button? It just turns up or down. Oh, hold on. Is that? Well, let's go find out. Pushing it up turns it on. Does pushing it down do something? I'm wondering if you guys are knowing something and just like baiting me into trying something, or if you don't. So seat heater button, when I push it up, it goes on, and down. What if I push it down? Nothing. So yeah, it does nothing when you push it down. 1, 2, and 3, and then 2, 3. And again, you can, and if you want to just hold it, you can hold it up, and you can also hold it down, and it will turn them all off as well. So that's it. Does it push in? It does not push in. It's just up and down. So good questions here. You guys are leading me through this. I'm really glad that you guys are helping me. But yeah, going down, whoa, that was not a good camera view. Going down, it does not do anything other than turn it down. So good question. All right, let's keep going through here. Oh, come on, camera, you can do it. Can we see the full car again? Yes, we're gonna go through the whole car, the outside, in just 1 second here. I'm just gonna make sure I'm answering your questions. I'm actually too close for the camera to get the whole car. So, okay, not seeing a whole lot of questions. Some people like the design of the Kia over the Sonata. So the rumor is that the next Sonata, the refresh, the facelift of this car. So a facelift is usually new lights and new bumpers. The rumor is that they're actually going to redesign this car for the facelift. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Some people like it. I really like it in this sporty trim. I find in the regular trim it kind of looks too sporty for a luxurious kind of car, so I'm not sure. Okay, let's take a look. First, we're going to go rear seat, sit in there for a second just to give you the space. We're going to look at the trunk. We're going to throw Teddy Bear in there because Teddy Bear is our trunk measurement tool. He's very helpful. He's really looking forward to getting in this video. And then we're going to go around the outside of the car. We're also going to talk a lot of safety on this car because you've got a good number of features. So one of the key reasons to buy a sedan is because you have this great rear seat space. So let's put the camera on me. I'm about 6 feet tall, jumping in here. And you can see, no problem. Now, what's cool about this is the panoramic roof is actually in front of me. The rear panel is smaller than some SUVs, but visually speaking, when I'm looking up, my eyes, I have to look sort of way up. Visually speaking, you still have that clear, the roof above you. So you're sitting underneath a, kind of bumped up area where you've got lots of headroom there. And then, of course, the rear seats are nice and comfortable. Flat to the seat here, which is what you expect in most of our modern vehicles. And you've got the cup holders here, which have the armrest, or the armrest with the cup holders in there, which falls to a nice spot. Let's flip the camera around for a second. A couple things I really like. Let's see if we can look up here. Maybe I can get it on film there. Yeah, those are the lights in the side there. Because you have the panoramic roof in the middle, you don't have a light here in the middle, but they are nice bright white LEDs. And if you've never had those in your cars, they make the interior look very rich at night, which is kind of a nice thing to have. I like the way the door handles are kind of built into the whole design as well. They've done a nice job designing this car. Actually, we still have shipping plastic on here. This should be metallic. And there we go. So that's metallic color. We'll rip that out in a second. Down here, you have kind of the basics. That shipping plastic's now stuck to my fingers. Oh, sorry about that. You also have the pocket, but only on the passenger side. You have no vents on this trim level. You can see higher trims are prepared for that. USB down there. And again, the plastic back seats. So where you notice that this car is maybe second from the bottom in the trim line is probably rear seat. You don't have some of the extra ports that we would have in some of the higher trims. You don't have the vents that we have. There's still vents underneath the seat. You're still gonna be comfortable back here. But this is where you feel that, oh, okay, it's a mid-level trim. It's certainly not a high-end trim. Sitting in the front, it does very much feel like a high-end trim. And again, that big panoramic roof certainly helps that as well. Okay, so let's jump out, do the trunk measurement tool. I'll take the little shipping plastic that we have here. Oh, there's one on this side too. Let's just rip that off. See how helpful we are to their detailing crew over at Brantford Hyundai? All right, gonna leave those over here. So there's a couple ways to pop the trunk. I'm gonna do it with a key fob today. You can do a smart tailgate as well. We showed the smart tailgate in yesterday's video on one of our vehicles. What I like to do is just hold this down. There's, you can do it from the inside. You can do the smart tailgate, which is a different thing. Very coupe-like look to this car there. And again, the panoramic roof kind of like loops down, curls around. The K5 that you're gonna see has even more of a curl around design. We'll show you that tomorrow. But let's pop the trunk here for a second by holding that down, and it releases and pops all the way up. If the car's level, it will do that. It's just weighted really well, which I think is really nice. If you are in the mood for an SUV because you want cargo space, this has a lot of cargo space. If you don't need to stack your stuff high and don't need the massive opening to throw a dishwasher in the trunk, I think you're going to find that a sedan is exactly what you need. This one is... Now, Mike, who drives this car, apologized to me for the dirty trunk, and I'm going to let him know that it is not a problem. If you stick teddy bear in there, sticking 2 teddy bears in here is literally no problem. There's just so much space here. Again, ignore the dirt in here. This is someone's car that he actually uses it. But the trunk space in the Sonata is very, very large, very useful. And you can fold the seats down if you want to put larger items in there, and it's easy to do with that button right there. So we'll get teddy bear out of here. Let's take a look at the lighting on this car as we show you the outside again. And then we're going to talk about some of the safety features that I really like in this car that maybe sometimes you don't expect. All right, so there's your backup camera too. It's also up there kind of well protected in this area, rather than just kind of hanging out free. So I just kind of think that's a good spot. Let's get the lighting turned on and we'll talk about some of the benefits. All right, headlights are on. Keys not quite in the car. Put my hip in the car. There we go. The key's in the car now. All right, headlights are on. There we go. So this is going to be hard to show on camera because these lights don't work well with the camera usually. They might flicker at times, but this area is now no longer chrome. It is actually lit up. And when you see these coming down the road, these daytime running lights are very bright and very noticeable. And that is your daytime running light. So down here in the section here, where my finger's exactly there, that's your headlights. But below there, that little line up there and up there, again, that looked like chrome and now changes to a LED daytime running light. So down there, headlights, look at how bright they are. Real sharp cutoff, real sharp brightness. I really like that quite a bit. And you can see the benefit over here. This camera makes it look way more yellow. It's a little whiter there, a little yellower here. It is a nice bright white light that's nice and even, helps you identify things at night because your brain knows what you're doing. It knows what it's seeing. We'll look at the rear lights in just 1 second, but while we're up front here, you'll notice there's no panel. Remember, this car has smart cruise control. And usually you have a square panel around the license plate, usually below the license plate. This car doesn't have that because it's right in there. So that's your radar plate that works with smart cruise control. It also works with the forward collision avoidance assist. It also has the camera up there. So all these forward collision avoidance assist type things, they use the camera and the radar to avoid things. It also uses that radar plate for things like smart cruise control. So you also have lane keep, lane follow assist that can see the lane markers, keep the car centered in the lane, as well as whether you want fully centered or whether you want to just help it steer you to keep you balanced in. If you have, lane keeping assist can see the lane markers, and if you cross the lane marker, it'll beep at you as well as nudge you back in, whereas lane follow assist can keep you centered in the lane and actively steer the car for you. So there's the front lights. Let's turn the signal lights on for a second out front, just so you can see the difference, if you can remember where we were for a second. Turn the four-ways on. And now you can see that down low, that white light, hopefully this will work on camera. Yeah, this is a nice amber light that's just not showing. If I can get the right angle, maybe it'll show a little better. It's a very, very amber light in person. So what you're seeing in person is different than what you're seeing on camera here. Very white light there, very amber light here. So it's switching between white and amber. And if it would stay amber long enough, the camera would adapt to it. But currently it's making it look white. So really just kind of nice organized lighting there. Really good here. Same thing in the mirrors. You do have the amber lights there. And over back here, LED signal lights. They very rarely put the LED signal lights on these cars. For whatever reason, they still do the non-LED. And you can see, there's your LED signal lights. Oops, there we go. You've got that nice character line all the way around, which looks amazing at night. The bright LED signal lights up there. And of course, the tail light or the brake light is up top there as well. So really high quality lighting. And again, this sport model is only one trim above the base for this car. So very nice mix right there. All right, we're at 37 people on, 31 people have liked. I'm going to check the comments for a second. We'll go through some other things. We're a little quicker on this one. Basically, we're a little quicker because we've had less people on. But let's just take a look and see if we've got any comments that I should answer. And, all right, where are we? I need one in structural blue, they said. So when can we see the full car? You can, just there. Happy to see Teddy. All right, so no more questions. If you guys have questions about this car, now's the time to ask them. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Does it have a split folding rear seat? It absolutely does. Good question. So when we popped the trunk earlier, why don't we just quickly pop the trunk again? So we'll show you that. We'll hold this down again just because it's easiest. And, oh, you know what? The car's on, so it's not going to pop. There's actually a good safety feature to let you guys know about. The trunk will not pop if the car is on. The car is in the on position right now, so essentially it thinks it's running, but it's not. Now that we turn it off, we'll turn the lights off here. And when we go to pop the trunk again, we'll do that with this. So we're going to hold this button right here. Oops, let me just flip the camera around here. Hold the button right there. As we hold that, you'll see trunk opens up again. So 60-40 split is the way it works. You have this side to pull down this side and that button there to pull down that side. And then you can see here, if I can get it clear enough, the 40 side is right there. The 60 side is right here. So driver's side is the 40. Harder to see inside. Maybe we can see a little bit here. But yeah, they do fold down. Yeah, there we go. You can sort of see it here. Driver's side right here is the dividing line. And then the armrest and that side folds down on the passenger side there. So I want to talk really quickly about the blind spot detection in this car as well. You've got blind spot detection in the mirror here. You can see it right there. That'll light up orange. If I can get it there, yeah, that'll light up orange there by my finger when you have someone in your blind spot. But that, of course, also gives you rear cross traffic alert, which means when I'm backing up, what's going on is if you had a minivan parked next to this car, let's pretend my hand is the minivan, and you're trying to back up out of a parking spot. There's no possible way that you as a driver can see me because there's a minivan parked beside you, but the camera probably can't see me as well either because it's over here and I'm walking this way or there's a driving this way, whatever it is. As you're backing out, there's a radar plate here that looks backwards for lane keeping or for blind spot detection, but when you're in reverse, it can look out this way and see traffic crossing your path. And this, of course, can alert you of that. So there is very good system there. There are aftermarket systems for some cars. Okay, somebody asked a question, somebody's helping me answer. So can non-LED signal vehicles be changed to LED? So I get asked this question a lot. Be careful doing that. There's a lot of bad systems out there. Personally, I don't recommend it. All these cars are kind of computerized and set, and there's voltage things. Sometimes those non-LED signals are put in there to have a certain amount of resistance. You'll see sometimes people put LEDs in, they flash really quickly. There's a whole bunch of reasons where it's not something I recommend. It can be done, but don't go buy the cheapest system you can. I'm not sure if Kia or Hyundai recommend it at all. But yeah, we've seen that. It's just nicer to get it from the factory. And for whatever reason, a lot of our cars, they seem to leave the rear signal lights as standard incandescents, whereas everything else is LED. This one has the LED lighting, which is kind of nice. So there we go. All right, guys, we are at the 27.5-minute mark, and we've kind of covered this whole car. Not a whole lot of questions, not as much of an audience as normal. So I think what we're going to do is wrap it up there. If you missed it off the top, we did an EV6, Canadian EV6 information. We finally got some yesterday. That's official information. So we talked about that this morning. And not to be outdone, Hyundai released their Ioniq 5 pricing. So those are two EVs, next generation EVs, that are coming out this, like very soon, right? And they're the next generation. So now we know Hyundai has pricing set. It's going to hit that under $45,000 mark, up to the $55,000 mark for 4 out of 5 trims. That price range, that $45,000 to $55,000, is key because those cars will qualify for a $5,000 government discount as the rules are stated today. Then, of course, Kia, who introduced their information but did not introduce pricing, is certainly hinting that they're going to match some of those key specs in battery size, horsepower, those kind of things. They're going to be in that ballpark for those key specs. And that hints at them also trying to hit that price point, which was not the original plan from what I had heard. So we got a lot of stuff going on in the EV world right now that just happened today. I'm going to see these vehicles in person in actually 2 weeks or so from now in the LA Auto Show. So a lot of stuff's coming up on this channel on those things. Lots of news coming on. You guys have been asking about the Santa Cruz a lot, and we will get a Santa Cruz back in here in the next little while. Tomorrow, we're going to look at the direct competitor to this car, a car that shares a platform but is all-wheel drive, and it's going to be the Kia K5. So a lot of stuff coming up, and we'll see what happens. There's a couple questions here. If you had the car on with you sitting in it, is there a level to open the trunk? Oh, let's just double check. I'm pretty sure there is a way to open the trunk. So if the vehicle's on, you can't use the key fob. But there's your button to pop the trunk right there. And there's your electronic parking brake as well. Usually electronic parking brakes are in the center console, and this one, it's up here, there. But yeah, you do have a trunk button. So trunk button there, trunk button on the key fob, And of course, you can use the smart tailgate function, which means I can just have the key fob in my pocket. So I have it in my pocket here, approach the vehicle, and if I approach the vehicle and stand behind, and if I turn this setting on, I can stand behind the vehicle with the key fob in my pocket. It'll sense it. It'll beep 5 times in 3 seconds and release automatically just by sensing the key fob there. So we did that in a demonstration the other day, and that worked as well. So there we go. So I think we're going to leave it there. If there's any more likes out there for this video that you want to leave, feel free to leave them. We were setting a goal of 45, and I got overly ambitious. We didn't hit that. So thanks, everybody, for watching. We will be back again tomorrow with the K5, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.